First obstacle that I face as I commence my daily journey to Birzeit is public transportation. The fact that there are no organized and scheduled bus trips in East Jerusalem means that catching a bus at the proper time is a laborer's job. It is extremely common to wait for more than 15 minutes until you get to hop on a bus that shares your destination, that is Ramallah. Moreover, these buses are ill-equipped and are barely fit to carry passengers. Perhaps the most annoying part of the journey would be approaching Land's End, as I like to call it, which is the area that is shouldered by the apartheid wall that was built in 2005 at the end of Beit Hanina village. Due to the lack of urban planning in the area, and in addition to the abrupt introduction of the monstrous wall, the streets became narrower and cannot deal with the immense amount of traffic that floods them daily. Getting stuck in such traffic is the usual business on the streets. However, it puts your punctuality at risk, especially if that when you try to attend an 8 a.m. class. Still worse to come, when all this traffic will eventually have to be funneled through Kalandia checkpoint. Living on different sides of the checkpoint has brought about a little more than the physical separation of one nation. Negative feelings from the residents on both sides towards the other are clear, although frowned upon. In an academic setting, such as Birzeit University, students tend to identify themselves as Jerusalemites or West Bankers. Such feelings are fueled by the privileges, or the lack of, that blue ID carriers receive from the State of Israel, such as social security payments to families and healthcare. Moreover, Palestinians living inside the West Bank tend to consider that Jerusalemites have not experienced the same level of suffering imposed by the Israeli occupation. The trip back to Jerusalem holds the lion's share of humiliation and degradation. Having to stand in line after wrestling through traffic for lengthy periods of time is one of the most stressful events of my day. The ill treatment offered by young and reckless soldiers, in addition to having to undergo screening, leaves anyone feeling enraged and unhappy, to say the least. Living in East Jerusalem and under direct occupation leaves us at risk of losing our Arab and Palestinian identity. Traveling back and forth between Jerusalem and the West Bank gives us the chance to stay in touch with this identity and gives us this sense of belonging and urge to contribute to the current issues and concerns of the Palestinian people.